Welcome back, guys, to another episode. We are going to be taking you guys through our Sunday prep, and we're going to be sharing with you guys how we prep the kids and the family for a Sunday. And mostly she's going to be talking about it because I don't really do this part. So
yeah,
we're just going to go ahead and jump into it. So let's jump into it. Jody, let me ask you first couple questions. So what do you look for when you're prepping for the kids?
I usually start, I look at the week.
Okay,
so I look at our weekend and the amount of time I'm gonna actually have to prep.
Yeah.
And then kind of from there, I think about like this weekend we had a kind of busy weekend.
Yes.
So what can I make in a bulk amount that's gonna feed Eli, myself, and Lydia throughout our lunches for the week. So that's how I prep for this week. Other weeks, if we have more time, I'm gonna maybe make 4 different dishes, or I'm gonna add in like breakfast egg cups, or I'm gonna do something. So first I look at my availability on the weekend for prep time, because I don't wanna put myself in a pickle where I'm not gonna have enough time to cook everything.
Which is very, very important. And I think you and I are very busy throughout the week, so it's very hard for us to be cooking fancy meals at night.
Right.
So we keep it pretty simple. So that's really good to have. It's just keeping your meals simple,
right,
so that you're not doing a lot of work. So let's go ahead and jump into it with the carrots.
So this week I am actually preparing roasted vegetables. So I'm doing a big batch of roasted vegetables. I'm gonna do carrots, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and I think I have peppers as well that I'm gonna cut up, because I have a limited amount of time today to prep. It's gonna be for myself, it's gonna be for Eli, and it's gonna be for Lydia. So all the vegetables are for all of us. Lydia does not like a lot of meat, so she is actually just gonna get the roasted vegetables with a rice pilaf, because that's what she likes. And then Eli is going to get dino nuggets, because that's what he likes. He's our picky eater, so he's not always up for new adventurous things.
Well, why do you think kids are picky with their foods? Like,
I think
I'll share my opinion once. I'll share my opinion on what I think.
Yeah, I think that we have been conditioned to think that there are kids' foods and there are adult foods, and that we need to, that our kids are gonna want just the dino nuggets, and they're gonna want just the mac and cheese, and they're gonna think. I mean, I've even had some adults be like, "Your kid is eating raspberries. Ew, I don't like raspberries." Or they eat avocado. And I'm like, I kind of get mad at that, because one, they're trying to impose their opinion on that food onto my child, which I don't like. If my child likes it, good. If they want to try it, great. But I think as adults, we tend to impose our opinions on foods, whether they taste good or not, onto our children, and therefore our kids become picky eaters.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are going to be some exceptions where kids maybe, have medical conditions, or they might have, there's just certain things that they may be a little bit pickier, and
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. One second. So I think that when the kids get around the toddler age, around like where Eli's around his age, around now, a lot of kids tend to be very what's the word I'm looking for?
Stubborn?
Very stubborn, yes. Parents will give in.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of parents don't want to deal with the fussiness and deal with the rage of the kids, and they just, what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think once Eli had started to taste sweets, I go by that example. Like, once he's had chocolate, he knows what chocolate is, or ice cream, and he's gonna want that over anything else. And so I think it's important to delay sugar, having sugar in your kid's life, just because they need to experience real food flavors first.
Oh yeah.
So one of the things that I did, and maybe it's what made them not be so picky, or maybe not, but I made all of their baby food from scratch. I didn't want them to eat the jar food, the shelf stable food. So whatever we had, I would just buy like an extra avocado, and then add water to it, and then just puree it, and that's what Eli ate, and Lydia.
So for parents that kind of struggle with time, like that's a lot of work for parents that have to deal with us. Like
puree,
that's going to be a faster method of doing it? Or?
Well, yeah, I think that when you're talking about an infant starting to eat food, when they're first starting to eat, I don't think it took too much time, to be very honest. I mean, if we're going to have avocados with our tacos or something like that, just having an extra bit of avocado. And, well, we have a magic bullet. If you have something like that, it sits on our counter because we use it multiple times a day. So if you've got something like that ready and available, you can puree up any vegetable, just cook it up a little bit and then...
Struggling with the knives.
and then puree it pretty quickly. So I just think we need to not think of food as adult food and kid food and restrict our children from being exposed to all the fruits and vegetables that are available. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's just like you said, like teaching them very young is going to be very helpful because they're not going to know anything different until you put those foods that they shouldn't have.
Yeah, well, and I just heard a really interesting thing too, a study about how kids are really just mimicking what they see until about age 7, which I thought was fascinating. Like 7 seems so old, but if you think of it in that way, they're mimicking what you're eating as a parent. If you're not sitting down, if you're telling your kids to eat vegetables and then you're not eating vegetables, that's not going to work because why would they want to eat something that they don't see you eating? So I think if you want your kids to not be picky, sorry parents, but you yourself really can't be super picky either. They're just going to mimic what they see in the home. So if you're wanting to improve your child's diet, you first really need to start with yourself and be the role model in the home.
And speaking about yourself, like you said, you've never really eaten you've never really eaten healthy until Lydia was born, right? Is that what you told me, right?
Yeah, well, I really didn't start working on, I guess, my health. I ate healthy, a little bit. I wasn't eating a lot of like pastas and grains and things like that. But college, oh my gosh, I lived off of frozen pizzas and like 32-ounce Mountain Dews every single day. I mean, I didn't grow up on fresh produce. It was canned produce in my home. So, I had to teach myself really how to cook and what fresh food was. But yeah.
And like, I guess, how did you feel like it made the difference, like from switching to the way you ate?
I have so much more energy during the day. I remember one time I had guys, don't judge me, I was an adult and I was eating pizza pockets. Pockets, if you know Jim Gaffigan. I was eating those for lunch at the office, and one day I had one, and I just realized, oh my gosh, how tired I was within an hour of eating that thing, and I had no energy, and I had been eating salads, and I just decided that day I was going to have one because I think I was rushed and probably didn't prep. Yeah. And so I was rushed and grabbed one from the freezer. I had a leftover one, and I was exhausted. And so, now I have better energy throughout my day.
Should I put this in a bowl?
Yeah, if you want to grab one of the plastic bowls.
Probably plastic.
Now that I eat healthy and I'm eating real food all the time, I just have better energy throughout my days. Like I'm not struggling. I'm not, not every day, because sometimes, not today, I'm dragging. But a lot of, I'm able to get through my day and go to work for half the day and take care of Eli and do housework and, and I can get through it. So not eating those processed carbs and all of that is very helpful. So that's why meal prep for me is super important, because if you look at it, most of the convenient foods are processed carbohydrates. So that's why this is really, really important. What other questions you got for me? What about you? What do you do? Why do you meal prep? Well, you kind of meal prep. You do, but it's usually not the same day I meal prep.
I mean, for me, it's just a must. I have to, because like just like everyone else faces, they face like the busyness of work and life and family, and that if you're not prepared with your food, you're most likely gonna be unhealthy choices, and then you're just gonna gain that weight, gain that fat, and completely just lose yourself, kind of. You know what I mean? Just I have to prep so that I can remain healthy for my kids. Continue to have the energy to come home and help you with dinner. Because I don't prep the kids' food as much, but I do a lot of the cooking at home. I wouldn't have that energy if I didn't stay healthy. So going to the gym at least 3 times a week. I say it would be the minimum for you to actually really get the benefits from it. When I first started my own journey was when big YouTubers doing bodybuilding shows, and I'm like, oh man, I wanna gain some weight because I couldn't gain any weight for a long time. I couldn't get past a certain weight, and I was watching like how do you gain weight on YouTube, and then finally I was able to learn how to pack on weight, and I gained like 30 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just trying to get huge.
Yeah.
But then when I did my first bodybuilding show, I was like, okay, now I gotta figure out how I need to cut up. And that's really how I learned about nutrition, just what the food does for your body. For instance, I save my carbohydrates, mostly all my carbohydrates at night, because I position them at night so I can enjoy it with the family, which is a huge tip for dads out there or men out there. Like if you have a family, if you do that kind of plan, that's how I do it, along with intermittent fasting. Yeah, I guess you gotta learn how your body operates. I think that's the biggest key, because like, you do well on carbs or no?
Do I do well on carbs? I do not do well on carbs. No, that's
You don't do well on carbs?
No, well, okay. So again, we're talking about different kinds of carbohydrates. Like right here, all we're doing is cutting up carbs, right? Sweet potato, red pepper, Brussels sprouts, carrots. Yep. These are all carbs. These are complex carbohydrates that our bodies know how to really use for energy, right? So this I'm fine with. I can eat a good salad with protein. That's carbs with, my chicken or whatever like I had for lunch. But if we're talking about sitting down and eating like spaghetti and meatballs, I'm gonna be passed out on the couch after having spaghetti. I don't do well on those overly processed, more simple carbohydrates. Eating a lot of that is not super great. Pizza, another one where I love it, don't get me wrong, but it will probably knock me out and I'll be tired.
Same.
Super lethargic with that. So it really does depend what kind of carbohydrate you're talking about. Don't shy away from vegetables. That's one thing I will never recommend to do for your carbs, but you're looking more because you need the fiber and the nutrients and all the vitamins that they provide.
Yes,
but
you
do stay away from like your white bread. That provides I shouldn't say absolutely no nutritional value. If you are on a budget and that's what your family can afford, it is food, right? You gotta feed your family. But if you have the choice and the option to get a more nutritional kind of bread, then please, by all means, do. Well, there are plenty that have protein and no high fructose corn syrup and things like that. Ours have seeds and nuts in them in the bread, and I don't know. I just love our bread that we get. It seems to provide a lot more nutritional value for our family. Just very minimal amounts of pasta if you're going to eat it. We eat it, but we don't eat it all that often. So, if you can throw in a ton of veggies with your pasta, then by all means, please do that, because you're getting the fiber and the nutritional value, and you can do protein in there too. All the things are needed for healthy diet.
Yep. Man, I cannot think today.
Sweet taters.
I got the sweet potatoes done. And then you want to be throwing that bowl or what?
We're just gonna do olive oil and some seasoning on it. You're the seasoning master.
Let's talk about for people that are really struggling with switching over to eating healthy. Because a lot of people that don't eat healthy think this food is disgusting.
Right. So definitely, if you've been eating processed food, you're not going to think this is great, because your taste buds are geared towards that processed stuff. You're going to need sweet. You're going to need fat in the form of trans fats, processed chemical fat. So if you are wanting to make the change, first you have to commit to doing it consistently for an X amount of time. So I would say you need to consistently do it for a week or something like that, right? And you've got to plan and prep ahead. Because you cannot find yourself in a space where you don't have food ready and you're hungry, because then you're going to turn to the things that you're craving. It's really hard just to work past your cravings and temptations when you're in the beginning of things.
Well, here's my method. I track macronutrients because it allows me to still eat the foods like I would get at fast food places, but you're gonna have better quality ingredients.
Yeah.
So for instance, like if I want Taco Bell, we cook Crunchwrap Supremes, but we use better quality ingredients, and I think that's the biggest key for people to understand their nutrition and understand their macros, because they don't have to completely get rid of those foods that they love. If they can just learn, like, hey, I can track, if I learn how to track my macros, I can have Chipotle and still hit my goals and hit my numbers and still get results.
Right. Yeah.
So my wife and I eat a little bit different, I think. She loves this whole food stuff.
Yeah, we do. We do eat different.
Yeah,
I know. I love my vegetables, and you think you can do life without them.
I don't eat much vegetables. I eat a little bit, but this is what I do. That's what I do. This is in my immuno greens. It's just green supplements, so I don't have to eat my vegetables.
Have to eat the vegetable
all the time. So
y'all, do you want to see him eat a raw carrot? That's going to be a test of this man's strength right there. That's mental strength for him.
Raw carrots. I still try to make an effort and get some kind of vegetables in, whether that's with my burrito, add some spinach in there, or at dinner time when she forces me to have vegetables.
Usually there's a difference between when he makes the menu and when I make the menu. I kind of have to go through and be like, what vegetables can I add to every meal, because this is just meat. It's kind of
the thing is, like, okay, so I'm just gonna explain what I've done.
Just explain it.
So I did keto. 3 years have done keto. The studies have shown, like, so many people have gotten results from the ketosis or keto, because you're operating at like a fasted state, kind of, or you're operating just eating fats more. And people think that fats are unhealthy, but you're getting results eating fats.
Yeah.
So anyways, I did it for 3 years, and I got awesome results. I actually got bigger, shredded. And then when I started implementing carbs again, I just started getting bigger again. I just started getting fat again. So I eat more protein. I've said this before. I'm repeating myself again, but I eat more protein and fats, and I do a lot of kind of like carnivore diet a little bit. Carnivore diet a little bit.
Not the carnivore diet. That would be very different.
Yeah, that'd be like cotton candy and elephant ears. So that's kind of what I do, and then I just add the carbohydrates at the end of the night. Yeah. That's the simplest way that I do it, but I still see results.
Yeah.
So I don't need vegetables. That's
what
I'm trying to say.
You do need vegetables.
Okay, so let's.
And you need fruit. I am not a fruit eater though, but I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. When you're looking at making a behavior change, not only are we talking about what the behavior is and how to, like, what needs to be changed, but we're looking at how should you appropriately make that behavior change so that you're successful. You can't just jump into these things without a plan, without a commitment level. So that's my 2 cents as a health coach.
And my advice from switching from eating unhealthy to a healthier lifestyle is just understanding your nutrition, because I think that's going to be the biggest key to actually enjoying the foods that you love. And like I said, me and her eat a little bit different, but we both do have vegetables at dinner time. We do a lot of carbohydrates at dinner time, and then we just do pretty much a well-balanced meal
Not a
plan.
lot of carbohydrates, but balanced, enough. Yeah.
So we talked about kids, prep. Anything else that you think you can think of?
No, I think just keep it simple. Like you said in the very beginning, but keep it healthy. So, think through. A lot of times when I do multiple meals at one time, like if I'm going to do breakfast and I'm going to do a meal for my daughter, a meal for my son, a meal for myself, I make sure I'm using different surfaces so I can get it all done, or similar ingredients. So if I'm doing sweet potatoes for myself, I'm going to do sweet potatoes for Eli too, because then I just have to chop up, one kind of vegetable or whatever it might be. So just be strategic in how you are going to meal plan so it's easier for you. It reduces stress. And it definitely reduces stress throughout the week to have meals and everything already prepped. and ready to go. So there are beautiful vegetables. Beautiful, beautiful.
And how long will this take?
This will take a good probably 15 to 20 minutes to get them nice and where we want them to be. So we'll put on 15 minutes and I'll check it.
And then what's next?
What's next is I actually have already done rice. So for Lydia, she likes rice, so I just have a rice pilaf. Nothing fancy, didn't make it from scratch. Nothing to impress you with there, but I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to marinate my chicken because I want chicken with my roasted veggies and my rice pilaf.
Okay.
We got this bowl. That'll work. What kind of seasoning king, do you think I should?
For the
chicken to go with those veggies.
You're gonna have mixed vegetables. You can do a barbecue kind of style chicken, or you can do it just regular
Like
garlic
olive
salt.
oil and garlic.
Olive oil, yeah. But I think with that kind of mixture, I think I'd do barbecue, but that's just me.
Interesting choice. I didn't even think about that. What about a dry rub instead of like barbecue sauce?
That's
Do we
you.
have a barbecue? Do we have a chicken? We'll look to see what we have. We have so many different seasonings up at the All right.
What are some of your favorite proteins that you like to get?
I like to do a lot of ground turkey. I guess that's a big one for me because it's lean. Mostly just
Ground
just
turkey.
protein. Yeah, ground turkey. I like to make turkey burgers. I like to make turkey like skillet meals, which would be one of my favorites is ground turkey with sweet potato, kale, and onion, and that's literally like all it is. And it's just really good.
This meal is very easy. It wasn't that difficult to make because we're almost
Yeah.
pretty much done. All we have to do is just cook the kitchen.
Chicken in the kitchen.
You gotta cook the chicken in the kitchen.
There we go. Put that
Oh,
chicken in the kitchen.
Struggling today. Struggling.
I might just air fry this up. What do you think?
No,
No,
no, because
skillet?
it's just more cleaning to do. We don't want to clean.
That
Let's just
another pro
let
tip
me,
to keep it simple.
But the air fryer is such a good tool, though. I think
Mhm.
like the air fryer, you can make things so much easier. And honestly, it's not that bad to clean up. It's just have
Yeah.
to pull it out and do all that. But I think
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to cook it pretty fast on the skillet. So we're gonna do the cast iron skillet.
Yeah, air fryer has been. I was not a fan.
You weren't at first.
At first, I thought this is just going to be another gadget in the kitchen because I already have plenty. I use my food processor maybe once or twice a year.
Yep.
So I thought we're not going to use this that much, but oh my goodness, I've made zucchini chips. I've made like air fried mushrooms. We do French fries a lot, which keeps them, from not having to be in oil. We do chicken. We do teriyaki chicken, which is really, really good in the air fryer. So we found, I found it to be fun. I think I made donuts once. Don't judge, but yeah, I made air fried donuts one time. Lydia and I did. So, you can make. Well, and that's another thing too. If you enjoy a donut, make it at home, and you make it without in the air fryer. We didn't have all the oil and everything like that. So there are ways to make everything a little bit healthier, and that's what we do up in this house because I do enjoy baking. So we find muffins and cakes and things that we can do that are high in protein and balanced macros, so you're not getting a big carb thing.
We just made one of these protein cakes.
Yeah.
From
Saw it on Instagram and
TikTok.
Instagram.
It was super simple and
Yeah.
it was enough protein and carbs and fat.
Yeah, and I'm usually not a fan of making things in the microwave. I don't know why. I just think it's weird to bake a thing, but we did. It was protein,
There's only
egg, applesauce, and then some chocolate chips. We did chocolate protein
four
powder.
ingredients.
4 ingredients. We sprayed a bowl and just put it in the microwave for 3 minutes, and then we had a little protein cake. Completely balanced macros. I think it was 36 grams of protein and like 33 of fat and like 31 of carbs or something. I don't know. It was really balanced. So kind of new, the roasted vegetable thing now that it's fall. I've done other chilies and things like that for the fall for myself. I had spaghetti squash with ground turkey tomato sauce last week. That was really good and filling. So you can find those substitutes for the carbs that make you sleepy and don't work for your body. So I like spaghetti squash. He's not a fan of spaghetti squash. I remember I made that for us when we were dating, and I think you were kind of like, what did I get myself into?
You made a risotto.
Oh, that was cauliflower risotto.
The first time you brought me
Oh,
some
I brought you to it, yeah.
risotto, yeah. That's actually pretty good.
The risotto I made for you another meal, and that didn't go well because I didn't realize you were lactose intolerant and it had milk in it. Oops. Still married me though. I've learned I don't put milk and things.
Yep.
So
All right,
ready?
let's do the chicken.
All right.
Let's go ahead.
Chicken in the kitchen.
All right, we will see you guys when this is done. All right, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you got some good info in this video. And if you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe for the next video.
Yeah, and check out our website, 317wellness.com, for some free resources. We do have some high protein recipes there, as well as some other resources for you. So make sure you do that.
All right, peace.
Bye.